Hi, Corda people. I'm very pleased to be here today. And today is a very special day for Chainstack because we're actually announcing our support for Corda in the platform that I'll be talking a little bit about. So what's the problem that we're trying to solve? Today, building on blockchain is really hard. So you need to understand how to build the blockchain network, both governance-wise, technical-wise. You need to find engineers, you need to find talents. You need to actually choose the right protocol and consensus mechanism for your project. You need to handle all this like hybrid deployments that the customers and partners are asking for. So as a result, it's a very long time to proof of concept and even further to production. And it's a very complicated process of creating and scaling business networks and consortiums. And moreover, the blockchain is very, very new industry, so it changes all the time. So you need to take care about all this landscape changes. You need to take care about upgrades. Like we have Corda 3, now we have Corda 4, we have Corda 5, and they all change all the time. So it's actually quite challenging to follow up. So you ideally should have a trusted partner who will basically take care of this for you. So what's Chainstack? Chainstack is a platform as a service helping businesses to save costs associated with blockchain complexity, go to market and scale the decentralized solutions faster, and also, as I mentioned, be prepared to handle these changes in the blockchain industry. This is a quote from the Gartner Hype Cycle report, which was out just last week, and it is a section about managed blockchain service providers, actually, that we represent as well. And we actually quoted in this report, which is pretty nice. So the most important idea from here is that it's estimated that the managed blockchain services will actually grow over the next 10 years to support at least half of enterprise blockchain participants. So you can think about it in a way like cloud services. So basically, a long time ago, people were running their own services, they were running their own hardware, they were actually running bare metal, and they were running some workloads on top, and then it was partially virtualized, and now everybody's trying to, at least if they run new projects, they try to run them in the cloud because it's easy and it's scalable. So our idea and our strategy as well to look into the blockchain as an infrastructure that can be also run in the cloud because it's convenient and it's easy to scale, and there are a lot of data centers built by smart people, by cloud companies. So it's a very reasonable idea. And Gartner listens to this. So we are happy to announce Corda support in Chainstack, which allows you to deploy and manage secure high-performing Corda networks, nodes and minutes, and also deploy your Corda apps. We are one of the first services in this space to announce this, at least the first on CordaCon this year. And our solution looks like this. So it's basically a web-based application. You can deploy consortium networks on Corda in exactly 5 clicks. All these networks are dynamic compatibility zones, and they are complete with network map service, dormant, and notary services that allows you to basically do all the transactions within this network. You can actually deploy as many Corda participants nodes as you want. So you can invite members, you can remove members, you can add more nodes, you can also deploy Corda apps, you can remove Corda apps. So everything that you want to do about Corda node and application operations, you can do within one single interface, which is very intuitive and easy to use. A bit more technical details about this initial support. So Chainstack 1.4 is the first version where we introduced Corda. It's not obviously the last version of Chainstack that will enhance Corda support, because we have a quite exciting roadmap for the future support of Corda. Today we use Corda 4.1 open source image. We take care about the reliability of the service a lot. So we initially started to support Corda with Postgres database instead of file-based H2 database. Current offering is mostly oriented on testing and pre-production, because we run dynamic compatibility zones. So for instance, currently we don't support joining into Corda network or Corda testnet, but that's clearly a few next things on our roadmap, and we're closely discussing with the R3 team on this, because they're also super excited about this ability to join Corda testnet and Corda network quickly. So this is what we have in the first release. It looks like this. So basically, you can create your network, you can invite members with few clicks. So you invite via normal email process. So the invitee will receive an email. They can actually join Chainstack and they can run their own node. And they can deploy their own Corda apps. And then you can communicate within this network altogether. So Corda app management it's very novel. And it doesn't require any interaction from you as a developer or as an engineer or as an operations guy. You just need to basically upload your Corda app, and then everything will be done automatically for you. So the node will be restarted, the Corda app will be loaded, and then you'll be able to interact with it using the RPC API. So it's quite simple. One of the things that we're looking into, as I briefly mentioned, is to support Corda testnet and Corda network in order to support these global networks. And we are big fans of global networks like Corda testnet and Corda networks, so that companies will interact on one single network altogether. And we already have some prototype that we're going to release in Q1 2020. So that's something that we're looking for as a next big step for us. Also, of course, we're looking into all kind of software upgrades. So, for instance, when the new open source version will be released, we'll be looking into it. Also, we are looking into the enterprise version. So, if anyone's interested in Corda Enterprise, we'll be happy to talk and understand what kind of support is required. What are the capabilities that you're looking for from a managed service provider running enterprise nodes. So that's something that we're looking for as a next step. There are a few resources that you can look into to understand how Corda supported Chainstack works. We have great documentation on the platform, which includes just regular Corda documentation, like what's Corda, how it works, like what are the components, what are the modules. Also, how Corda works on Chainstack, how to operate Corda nodes on Chainstack. What are the interaction points you have with Corda node, how to use the APIs, what kind of tools you can use to access Corda nodes, what kind of tools you can use to explore the network, and so on and so forth. We have an announcement blog post published today with all these details and with explanation why we decided to do this and why we think Corda is important and why we think support in Chainstack of Corda is important as well. So feel free to go to our blog to understand why we built this, how we want to help customers and partners to run and exploit Corda networks and nodes. So with this, welcome to Chainstack. Corda, welcome to Chainstack. We're very happy to be here, very happy to announce this. And I think I might have some time, so I would like to have a short demo. It's not a full-fledged demo since I don't have much time, but it will just give you some understanding of what we have. So this is a live platform. Today you can go to console.chainstack.com, register. It's for free for 2 weeks. You can run one network with one node. You can actually invite other participants so they can register their own accounts and also create their own nodes. So in fact, you can already build networks for free on Chainstack for, of course, limited amount of time. But then you can still continue using the platform. You can be on a free developer plan, which is $0 cost, and just pay for usage. So we try to be super transparent in terms of pricing. So we pay. So you pay per hour of running a node. So it's similar to the cloud. So you can run a node for 1 hour, then you can shut it down, and then you just pay for 1 hour. So you don't have to prepay for nodes. You don't have to do anything. So basically, pricing is very flexible and scalable. So let's say we have I've pre-created a network just now. So we have a network running already. We can create a new network. We can call it let's say demo 2, and then we select protocol. So we spot a few protocols. Corda is one of them, and you can choose the consensus algorithm. So far, we support only single node trace since Raft and DFT Smart are in some kind of experimental mode. So we're looking forward for the official support in Corda. Next, you can basically select where you deploy your nodes. So far, we support cloud option, but we're looking for hybrid option. Let's say you want to deploy a bare network in the cloud, and then you want to add more nodes on premises, or you want some private cloud support. So we're happy to discuss this as well. As for cloud, you can choose one of 2 cloud providers that we support today, which is Google Cloud and AWS. So let's say I support AWS. It says that the new network comes with a network map service, non-validating notary, and a participant node by default. And then obviously you can add more nodes. So you just review whatever you want to create, and then you can create, and then it will be spin up in roughly 10 minutes. Since I don't have time, I'm not going to do this. So this is a network that I've pre-created. You can see nodes here. It's quite easy to add nodes. You just click Add Node, and you basically specify a name. Also, you choose the cloud, so it's possible to create nodes in different clouds. When you deploy the node, you can go into the node, and you can see all the details about the node, like who was the creator, when was it created, what's the client version. As soon as it's like a test and pre-production oriented offering so far, we've pre-generated the legal name for each node, but as soon as we move more to Corda test and Corda network, will introduce identity management capabilities so that you can actually create different identities for different nodes to join different networks. And you have all the credentials that you need for your node. So basically you have a host name to connect, you have RPC port. Obviously we care about security, so RPC is secured by username and password. And then you can connect to this RPC in a way you prefer. So with a Corda shell, you can run your own like web server, or you can use existing web server to connect to the RPC endpoints. Also, what is pretty cool, you can manage Corda apps right from this interface. So in this case, I've just pre-installed Corda Finance contracts and workflows. And in order to install new Corda app, you just click Install Corda app. You create, you have your jar file here. You can upload it, and it will be installed without any maintenance or operations required from your side. Inside of each Corda app, you can see the Corda details, when was it installed, who installed it, all the details about the platform version, hashes, anything that you want to know about this Corda app. You can delete Corda apps, of course, and the node will be automatically restarted after this. So also, which is important, you can invite other members, as I mentioned, to your project. So it's easy as just clicking on the members and then inviting a member by email. And then he will receive an invitation that he can, if he is already a Chainstack customer, he can go and deploy nodes into existing network. If he's a new customer, he can basically go register and also add network, add nodes to this network. So it's quite easy to use. Also, what's important, we see a lot of emerging use cases for programmatic spinning up, spinning down the network. So one of the next milestones in general for Chainstack, not just for Corda, is to create this API for orchestration, so that, for instance, you can use this in your CI/CD pipelines, like to spin up a new network, like spin down a network, deploy Corda, destroy Corda, and just test it all the way through, but using the programmatic way, using the APIs. I think that's it, guys. Actually, I'm done. And if you have any questions, I'm super happy to discuss further. We can, I think, ask one question.
Yeah, if I get a new node, do I get also dedicated database for it, or is it?
Yes. Yeah, each new node gets a new Postgres instance for this particular node. Maybe one more.
Go on, one more.
What's short?
Nice.
No?
That's what happens when I'm nice, if that can be. But, you know. Anyway, you can all contact Eugene via the app. You can ask him questions. Are you going to be around today?
Yeah, of course. Today, tomorrow, I'm here. Here we also have Zaid, who's our solution engineer, so he can help you to understand how to use Chainstack better with your application. So we're here for you, and we're happy to answer any questions and to talk about infrastructure.
Great, thank you.
Thank you very much.